A shout out to our podcast sponsor, sportsponsorship.co.uk. If you or your business are interested in making a real difference to the Scottish game, supporting hundreds of kids into regular football, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk and they'll find the right fit for your brand.
Babies and doggies.
Yeah. Just tried to squeeze in a quick gym session, then came back and then walked the dog, and then the kid's just been crazy all day. So she's just been laughing all day, like just constantly. She's like the Joker, like just abuses us and then just pisses herself laughing like for ages. You can't be mad because the laugh is so funny. So,
I was going to say it's better than like screaming or crying, isn't it? So,
oh yeah, big time, yeah. But it's just
better
like
sound to hear.
not made any progress today because she's just been constant. But
gym session on the go as well. Are you on the workout?
Yeah.
So
I've got a wedding in a week, and so I thought if I just go to the gym like tonight, then I should be fine. So I've done it now. Probably lost a good sort of 10 kilos. So
you're wearing a bin bag, mate.
I probably will have to at this rate because I'm wearing a suit that's that fit me 3 years ago. So the waistcoat's a bit snug, and the jacket, I mean, there's no chance in hell that's shutting. So that's not happening. But yeah, I'll make it work. I'm just hoping it's a really hot day so I can just get the jacket off, sleeves rolled up, and then it's fine. Like, it's all good. Got away with it. But yeah, trying to work out this week, but at the same time, had a whole tub of Haagen-Dazs to myself and a steak last night. So
Struggy started his diet today.
Did you?
Nah, I didn't end up. I'm eating peanut butter cups at the moment. I hadn't done a shop, so I had none in the house to eat. So I went and got like a Greg's and that. So I'll just start tomorrow. So I did my weekly shopping and I got lots of eggs. Just gonna eat boiled eggs, fried eggs,
man.
Scrambled eggs.
Actually, eggs are pretty tolerable, to be fair. Like, it's actually alright.
And skyr. Eat some skyr.
Skyr, yeah, that's good stuff.
And some oats. I was reading about it, man. My Instagram is just like spamming me now. Like the algorithm's just like clearly, because I was like reading like 2 or 3 posts about it. So every single thing on my reels is just like posting about protein and fucking whey protein powder and all this shit. I'm just like, leave me alone.
Incredible. Down the protein route as well, don't you? You need that lean turkey breast, some tuna, all that good shit.
And then I bought a 20 kg kettlebell from Argos today. It was fucking heavy, man. Honestly, Jesus Christ. Tried to lift that with one arm. Maya weighs 20 kilograms. But she's like long, and so it's easier to sort of pick her up. Whereas a kettlebell's just one big metal bell.
It's so embarrassing, isn't it, when you buy weights and then you've got to go and pick them up.
Like, the wee woman was carrying it from like the back to the front, and she was no sweat, and I was like fucking trying to lift up to the car. I was like,
you made her carry it out to the car for you.
I said, please can you assist me with this? Yeah. No, so that's my plan, to start swinging that bad boy. But maybe I'll go back to my 16 for a while because I've been off it, I've been on holiday, so I'm feeling rather fucking heavy and tired and depressed,
That's what holidays are about, eh? Always get the blues when you come back.
Mate, I'm feeling so fat. You seen the film The Santa Claus? Where he's like at the beginning, he's like really handsome and like cool, and then like he just gradually like becomes really fat and tired. I like Santa. I'm at the Santa stage of that, like just fucking feeling absolutely dreadful. Like,
I've watched all the Santa Claus films so many times because my daughter's just, I don't know why, but since like day dot has had an obsession with Tim Allen. So
Home Improvement
honestly, Home Improvement, yeah, Santa Clauses, like it's was it the one with the cranks? I can't remember. Christmas with the Cranks.
Christmas with the Cranks, yeah.
She just loves Tim Allen big time. Don't know what it is, but
yeah, it's Tom Hanks' character. I heard he was a good actor as well. Yeah.
You leave Tom Hanks out of this, man. He's the
he
goat.
did a couple of films.
I don't know if he's been Santa Claus yet. He probably has. Tom Hanks.
Bet you guys have never heard of Tom Hanks was in a really small indie film in the 90s, Forrest Gump. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I watched it recently, just thought I'd let you know, and my little movie tips.
Good film.
Is it just the look of Tim Allen that gets her going, or is it like the voice of
Is he Buzz Lightyear?
Buzz
right?
Lightyear as well?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, the Buzz Lightyear thing didn't work. I think it must be like his actions and stuff like that. I don't know, but I mean, saying
The
that,
association
actually,
with him and Santa.
well, I dug out Tim Allen stand up. Not to show her, like, do you know what I mean? But I dug one out, and it was a hard watch. Like, it was really difficult. Like, he was proper, like, really, like, it's like American Jim Davidson, like, almost. Like, it's pretty intense. So I didn't get all the way through it, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's been like that for
You got
three
Tim Allen
3 years.
branded clothes and that, like Tim Allen t-shirts and lunchboxes and Tim Allen.
I actually got her a
What-
Teal Time T-shirt for her Christmas. So there you go. But yeah, weird obsession. Weird obsession. That and Friday night dinner, which kind of shows me to be quite a bad parent. But she just loves Martin Goodman like so much. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty weird.
She clearly finds dad figures funny though. So like Tim Allen plays dads in all his films, and obviously Martin's a
Yeah, that's true.
dad.
That's true. That's true. And I'm hilarious, so yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
yeah.
joined the dots. That's where I was going with that, mate. You fool. Nailed it.
Come on, Tim Allen. Get him on. You're listening to
Yeah,
him.
Tim Allen, if you're listening, you can join us for an episode.
Yeah, feel free to come on, man. Yeah, absolutely. We'll squeeze you in. I think. We'll try.
Boy knows more about Scottish football than me, mate. They do better in the quiz.
Get him on for the quiz.
Yeah,
Sub
it could
in
be
Tim
your
Allen.
could be your phone a friend.
Yeah.
Classic. How was your holiday?
Yeah, it was good, mate. It was not very relaxing. Chasing after a toddler around a house that's a death trap. So yeah, it was good. Good
Oh
fun.
God.
I ate plenty. I ate well. I ate like a king. Nice to see family. The weather was okay. It wasn't too hot, which was good. Yeah, because
Good.
the year before it was absolutely roasting. I was just like so sweaty. But this year it was a relatively normal level of sweat, so that was good. But yeah,
That's good.
Polish eating is just incredible. You'll like smash a 3-course meal: soup, meat, potatoes, apple pie, and then you're feeling all right. You've managed to get through that, eating a couple of portions, and then the whap at the sausage and the blooming patty and the bread and that. After that, Jesus Christ, I'm dying here. I'm sweating with this. So I've just eaten fucking double the amount because I'm being polite because I'm the polite son-in-law. So I've just like done like double soup, double meat, double apple pie. And then they bring out the sausage, the meat platter, the fucking
Yeah,
bread.
that's the reason. It's because you're the polite guest. Yeah,
Exactly, mate.
bullshit, mate.
You know, I've got a small
I've
appetite.
seen you
but-
tuck into plenty.
So
You're
yeah,
full of shit.
I'm rammed full of meat, and the in-laws are like old school, mate. So they're cooking with like lard, and they're cooking with like the oil and butter, and like they've never seen fry like.
Sounds like a holiday, to be fair.
Like 1 calorie a spray.
Yeah, one cup, yeah. I'll bring some next time. They'll fucking shove it. They'll fucking shove it on my mate. But yeah, lots of eating, lots of good times. I was pissed once or twice on some Polish vodka. and
Vodka,
beer.
nice.
Yeah, it was tough. It was good.
Nice.
Had a good time. What you been up to anyway in this hiatus?
Well, me not so much. Tom, you were away though, weren't you?
Yeah, mate. A week in Grand Can,
Nice,
and it was
nice,
exactly
nice.
as George Smith, 54 from Southend, wrote on TripAdvisor: beer, pool, sunburn. That was his title of his review, and he was spot on.
Nice. You're not looking very sunburnt.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Yeah, it's
You have the factor
to be
50
fair,
on.
I burnt a wee bit the first day and then kind of recovered. So yeah, doing all
Nice.
right. It was good though. It was nice to get a break. The last time I was away before that was Greece for the Scotland game, and the Scotland games are never really too relaxing,
Yeah.
as you know. So it was nice to get away,
Nice one.
and like 30 odd degrees every day. So
Oh, perfect.
beautiful.
That is the perfect temperature for me, I think.
You're
And
in-
you won the rings, mate.
Oh yeah, shit. I should hold on. I'll get my diploma.
He's king of the ring.
King of the ring.
King of the brown ring.
Hell yeah, man. It's
What
going to
the
be
fuck
backwards
is
on the
that?
screen, but king of the rings.
On Thomas.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It was a hotel game, you know, the animation team, Raul and Lucas.
Shout out.
And it was a bit of wood with some nails in it, and you threw some rings at it, and I won the game. So we'll omit the fact that I lost at darts, at big darts, which is archery, shuffleboard, Molkie, and Sherlin, which is a Dutch game. Lost at every other game, but but won the rings.
At least you won something, right? That's it.
Drink to that, yeah. Bloody, who did I beat in the final? What nationality was he? I was going to slag someone off there, but
Yeah, German, mate. We're always Germans at these places, eh?
I think it was, I think he might have been Spanish.
Fucking Spanish. In Spain?
Yeah, exactly. It was very surprising.
Get to fucking Turkey or something, eh?
Yeah, no, the Spanish were all about the rings, man. And the rubber rings in the pool. They love it all. So they do.
Lovely stuff.
Chorizo. Paella.
Yeah, there was paella, to be fair. You wouldn't expect that in a sort of all-inclusive hotel, but there was paella.
Can I have paella, please? Hold the prawns, no chicken, none of the spicy rice.
I was hamburger with cheese sauce and fries every meal.
Chicken nuggets.
3 times a day.
The toddler buffet all-inclusive.
Yeah. Had to crouch down to get it.
Yeah. Knocking over a wee kid for the last fucking chicken nugget.
Don't knock it till you try it, man.
Just smashed up beer, chicken nuggets, and chip.
Yeah, I started a spreadsheet for keeping track of how many courses were consumed by each person on each day, and how many bebidas or drinks were consumed by each person. And I gave up after day 4. So the spreadsheet doesn't give us a full representation of what was consumed. So it's 4 days wasted, really. If I'd carried on to the 7th, I would have been able to get some charts and graphs out of it.
But you're the beer master, no? You were the one who's necking the fucking peebo.
Yeah, the other guys were on different bebidas or drinks, if you speak English. But yeah, I was tanking the beers. 4.7% Tropical, but only in 200ml cups, so it was very, very frequent visits to the bar.
How much can you get in one go? You went up. Could you like 10?
It said on the bar maximum 3 per person, but we pushed it to 4.
Nice.
Because there was 4 of us.
Just bring like a water bottle or something, and then just.
There was this one massive guy who I wasn't going to fuck with. He was 6'7", built like a shit brick house. And he brought his own, like, do you know at theme parks how you get big sort of tango cup things?
Like a Stanley
Must
cup.
hold like 1.5 liters. And he just went up and said, "I get 6 on the beach in that, please, mate." And they did it for him. They weren't going to say no to that guy.
So there you
How
go.
do you ask for a beer in Spanish, Tam?
Un beer, please.
Nice.
Because it's all-inclusive restaurant, isn't it? So
getting in with the culture and that, eh? That's what it's all about.
Nah, I always just put on the full Terry from Woking accent, just like, yeah, full lager. Full fucking lager.
Oh! Lager! Lager!
We're really going to piss off our English audience here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
You don't
There's
have
loads of
any,
them
mate.
listening.
Just Big Terry Butcher, eh? That's all. Just the old
Tell.
Some fucking discipline. Who else?
Who else is English?
Michael Beale. Michael, if you're
Beale,
listening,
yeah.
job could be available soon for your son. Get back in there.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll dive into
We'll get to
that.
that. We'll get to that. Yeah.
In due course. But for now, let's hear the theme tune. Episode 11 of the Tinpot podcast. We are back with a bang after 2 weeks off. Yeah, it's Tom, Matt, and Andrew. We're here to give you podcast chat all about Scottish football. Matt, how's it going?
Yeah, mate, it's good. Thanks.
We're just at 10 minutes of how you're doing, but yeah, no, it's episode 11. We're back here to discuss Scottish football stuff. We're going to be reviewing the first couple of weeks of action since we had a wee break. We're going to be starting off with a positive note, looking at the European results of last week and the upcoming fixtures in Europe this week. And yeah, just generally a good time to be in Scottish football, I think, just in my opinion. I don't know what you think about that, Matt.
Yeah, mate, it's buzzing. There's a lot of excitement going into the season. I think it could be a very interesting season, to say the least. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, mate. I'm honestly, I don't want to get too excited because there's second legs to come and you know what can happen. But last week was brilliant, and I'm very proud to be from Scotland, and we're watch Braveheart when this
Yeah.
podcast finished. Again, my monthly watch of Braveheart was on Channel 5, hopefully.
Yeah. Probably should have given more context to that question at the start.
Exactly.
I've just raced in. But yeah, what we're talking about there is last week, Rangers got a decent win in their qualifier and at home to Victoria Plzeň. And Hibs got a pretty phenomenal result away in Belgrade, 2-0 away from home. Martin Boyle getting his 100th and 101st Hibs goal. And then United as well, against all odds. I think the bookies had us at over 10-1 to win that game and came away with a draw over in Vienna. So that was all happening at the same time as Scott McTominay and Caroline Weir were getting their Ballon d'Or nominations. And yeah, I just felt that all the hype around Hearts this season, or whether there could be a split of the old firm, all these things are huge talking points in Scotland just now. And I think Scottish football's not really been in this good a place for quite a wee while. I don't know if you've got any different opinions, Andrew.
I totally agree. Obviously, I need to keep my neutral hat on. But yeah, the European form's fantastic. Really, really good. We always usually see horses fall, early on, at least one of them anyway. But to have everyone still in it is great. I actually think the United result was the outstanding one, just because, Rapid Vienna are no joke. Like they're a decent side, and have been for a long, long time. So yeah, as you said, 10-1 to win that. It's amazing to come away from that with a draw. So yeah, no, really, really pleasing. And as you said, domestically, Hearts looking great. Really good what Tony Bloom said about, wanting to split the old firm. And, the action kind of starts now. It doesn't look like it's all talk, especially when you see that sort of steeliness from Derek McInnes as well when he's interviewed, about the process and the big plan. So, yeah, they mean business. Hibs obviously, mean business too. So I reckon the two Edinburgh clubs can cause some serious problems this season. Aberdeen obviously fell away to Celtic over the weekend, which was kind of expected, but I don't quite think they'll be the force that they were maybe at the start of last season. But the two Edinburgh clubs definitely two to watch, and yeah, I just hope the European run continues because we really need to bring up that coefficient. If I'm not wrong, I think the winner of the league this season has to go into the same qualification stage as Rangers in the Champions League, and obviously that drips down. But with these kind of performances, that can really compensate for Steve Clark being so shit, and it'll really.
Oh, stop the horse.
No, but I'm just joking. I knew that would get you, but no, but seriously, it's totally unexpected in my opinion. Hibs, were really unlucky to get knocked out of the Europa League. I did say I had a good feeling about it, but it was more out of hope than anything else. But the performance they put in was fantastic, and then to put in that performance, again, against a decent side, maybe not quite as good, but still a tough tie, is really pleasing. So yeah, Scottish football should be attracting some good attention this season, hopefully.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah,
big time.
Dundee United. Can you believe it? This is the Dundee United team getting battered by Rovers a couple of years ago. Now they're drawn in Austria. I mean, I was slagging off Goodwin a couple of weeks ago, but I mean, overall, you can't fault the job he's done to take them from that. They eventually scraped over the line to win that title in the championship, but and now look at them, battling.
Yeah, he's done what our guest a few weeks ago, Henry, said, and he's got his workers working. He's that's one of the key attributes or the key things I see when I watch them is that a few years ago before he came in, when we had the likes of Stephen Fletcher and Mulgrew and Tony Watt, these types of players that were, in my opinion, there just for a salary. When they went 1-0 down or when things were tough, they just kind of down tools a wee bit, but Goodwin's got them fighting. And that was evident going 1-0 down, then 2-1 down away from home in a tough place to bring it back to 2-2. Now, don't get me wrong, they were bad in United for most of that game. It could have been a much worse scoreline, but that's football, isn't it? You just got to try and come away with something, which we did.
Yeah.
And then
take
even
your
that Hearts
chances.
game at the weekend, I thought we were unlucky to get to come away with nothing. I think a draw would have been a fair result, and I can't see many Hearts fans saying the opposite either. But going back to
No.
the European thing before we get onto the sort of domestic stuff again, has there ever been 5 Scottish teams in a league phase? Not that we're getting too ahead of ourselves, but just has that ever happened?
Off
No,
the
it
top of
can't
my head,
stages?
I don't
Surely
think
not.
so. Obviously, the qualifying situation changes, quite
Yeah, it's different
frequently.
now, isn't it?
So it's difficult, but no, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I'm sure in every season that any team that's been outside the old firm, there's been it's been quite regular that they've fallen at the first hurdle. But to have obviously 4 in there and still going, it's superb, and there's an excellent chance going into these second legs. Really good chance. Obviously, Rangers have put themselves in a great spot. Hibs have put themselves in a good spot. United are in it, and as I said, that's probably the toughest tie of the lot. So again, they take their chances at the right time. We could be looking at all 4, going
That's-
through, which is fantastic. One thing I was going to ask about Goodwin.
5 when you get Aberdeen in there as well. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. One thing I was going to ask you, Cam, as well, like Goodwin's come under quite a lot of fire with the lack of Scots in the starting 11. Obviously, you mentioned that, maybe had a few sort of journeymen there that were picking up a wage. His response, I think, personally, I felt was really measured and made a lot of sense. But as a United fan, how do you feel that, not having a lot of Scots in that team to kind of represent, I suppose, over the course of the season, especially in big games?
There's not a lot of Scots in the starting 11 because that's our best 11. But if you look at the bench, it's littered with Scots that have come through the academy. So, for me, if we get the job done, then that's the most important thing. I don't really care too much. It's the same argument you could have with a national team that's maybe littered with people born down south to Scottish grannies or something. Like, would you rather get to major tournaments with them in your team or fail without them?
Totally.
And yeah, I don't think you can be too
I see
chuffed about
that
it.
Billy Dodds was saying that if him and Ferguson had stayed on at Rangers, they were looking to sign, Scottish players or players that are,
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, how I kind of interpret that one is, I think it's Billy Dodds likes to say things, so in reality, who would you be sweeping up? So you'd maybe be taking Lennon Miller, but Motherwell were looking at 8 million for him. They're maybe going to let him go to Udinese for 4.5. So it's almost like that English tax happening up in Scotland kind of thing. And then apart from that, maybe
I know.
Mulligan,
they already got Lyle
be honest.
Cameron in, so
Exactly. So I don't, with the amount of positions that Rangers have needed to fill, I don't really think that there would have been that much of a difference with the amount of Scots coming in. Maybe 1 or 2, but
I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of United's case, are they looking obviously to bring in these sort of unknown Europeans and then do what Aberdeen have done and sell them on for a good profit? Obviously, Aberdeen sold Majowski for a good bit of money after a couple of seasons. It seems to be
I
a
think
good.
that'll be the plan if they can. We've not really had a track record of doing that since Goodwin's been there, but he's not had too many windows. I think early signs of the centre half Bert Esselink are looking good. I was saying that to you over the weekend, Matt. That he looks like to use the football phrase, Rolls Royce type of centre half. Looks really, really good, and I think he'll be one that we won't hang on to for long, which is fine. So clubs at this level, every Scottish club should be doing the same thing from 12th position all the way up to Celtic and first.
Yeah.
We should be buying to sell. That's where we are in the grand scheme of things.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. But I was looking at the next sort of ties that those 3 teams are getting. come on to you last, Andrew, because you'll be able to talk us through that one. But United have got AIK in Sweden or a Hungarian team, and if we can get past Vienna, obviously, and I think both of those teams look like easier draws than Vienna. So you'd like to think if you could get past that, then it should be a wee bit easier. Hibs from memory had I was looking at this earlier. Larnaca or Warsaw, I think it is. If they get through.
Warsaw. What a tie that'd be if they get away to
think-
Warsaw. What a bevy for the Hibs fans.
I think Larnaca are 4-1 up from the first leg though, so it's
fucking
looking like a trip to Cyprus. And again, you'd think if they can get past Belgrade that should be winnable.
That's the brilliance of the Conference League, really. Like, you remember when Aberdeen were always getting into the Europa League qualifiers before the Conference League was a thing? They were just getting knocked out by like a really difficult team, like the first or second qualifying round. And now with the Conference League, you've got a realistic opportunity for these teams to actually qualify for group stages. Obviously, Hearts did it last year.
Yeah.
Aberdeen have done it as well, didn't they, against the Frankfurt in their group? That was before the league phase thing came in. But Hibs have... so Hearts and Aberdeen have had recent success in Europe to an extent by getting to the group stages. But I was looking it up earlier. Hibs have not been in to the last... if it was league phase, last 36 in Europe since 1990. In the UEFA Cup, where they made it to the third round, I think. So, as much as we think that Hibs are one of the top five, and they are budget-wise, but they've not had that presence in Europe. So, that'd be massive for their fans if they could get through to the league phase, because you get some big glamour ties potentially in that as well.
Definitely, absolutely. There's always good teams in there, you know.
And there's a chance to qualify for the playoffs. I mean, Hearts should have done it last year. They should have got in the top, whatever it was. And obviously they drew with that fucking Petro Cup nonsense. So, I mean, if you're in the groups, you've got a chance of getting in the playoffs. You've got a chance of making a good bit of money and having some fun away trips. Sing us a song, the Hibs song, Tam. Sing us a song. What's it go?
Singing Hibs songs, you take the piss. Piece.
Just remind the listeners what it goes like.
Now you can sing your John McGlynn song again though, if you want. That's the only sing song we get on here.
No, after Saturday's shambles for that in clown.
But that's Europe, I think. Or sorry, Rangers. You obviously they're going to get past Huls, and I think they're doing pretty shite in their league so far this season in Czech Republic, and they don't look like too much to get past.
Yeah, I mean, like they were a decent side to get through against Servette. You know, they're down to 10 men, and then they pushed through, which was a good result for them. But yeah, I mean, look, if we lose a 3-0 lead, you know, that's terrible. You know, that's awful. The only confidence I really have is Rangers in Europe are decent. You know, but we've got Club Brugge or Salzburg, I think, in the next round. Bruges are ahead. We played Bruges in the pre-season friendlies, and they're a decent team. You know, they're a Champions League quality team, and I think with the way that I'm seeing sort of the whole Russell Martin style developing, I think we will really struggle there, because you know they've got that pace to really make that high line, you know, of our defence sweat. So I think that it may be a step too far for Rangers there. However, I don't think we're really geared up to be in the Champions League, if I'm honest. So getting papped out by either of those teams wouldn't really be shameful for me.
Yeah, you got no place, I suppose, eh? The only sad thing is about going out, you're still going to be busy with fixtures come September, October, well, November, December it is now, but you're just not going to get the money from the draw. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah, but it's been a good exercise to keep the games coming just now, but at the same time, I just think we would get absolutely battered in the Champions League. You know, I really don't think. I really think that most teams that we would get drawn in a group would tear us apart at the back. You know, so I don't think we're ready for that. Definitely not. Wouldn't be good for the confidence, I don't think, as well, trying to sort things domestically. So I actually think, I know the cash fall would be a huge difference, but I don't think that's our biggest issue at the moment. I think looking long term is probably the better plan. But it's not like someone's going to throw a game to come out of the Champions League. But I'm just wouldn't be that gutted if we got knocked out by Bruges or Salzburg.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to maybe focus more on the league if you've got less tricky fixtures to prepare for midweek, I suppose.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
On to domestic ball then. Sort of most impressive teams that you've seen so far, Matt. We'll start just chatting about the Premiership. Who's impressed you?
Well, Hearts have also got 6 points. They've beaten Aberdeen and Dundee United in those 2 games. Obviously, they've not performed. It's not been like superstar football, but they've won those 2 games and they've dug in, especially on Sunday. Tough game against Dundee United, who played well, particularly in the first half. We're getting on Hearts right. So I mean, obviously, if you're wanting to start the season well, they've won other games in the League Cup, won the first 2 league games. The train keeps on chugging along, and they've made some impressive signings. So I mean, it's looking good for Hearts. Already 4 points to clear Rangers in their battle for second, as predicted by me, and then copied by every other pundit after listening to the pod. So get your own opinions, eh? I think it's exciting stuff. Getting goals with set pieces, big boys. That's what you want, eh? Big boys getting close in the box, heading them in.
I think Rangers and Celtic have got game week off, don't they?
That's right.
At some point in the next few weeks. And
Yeah.
if I saw today, or someone told me today, that if Hearts win the next couple of games, and then you get Rangers and Celtic in that Old Firm, and if either team win or if it's a draw, Hearts could be something like 6 points ahead of both, or something like 8 points ahead of Rangers. Obviously, they'll have a game in hand, but it's just the
10 for
the
us.
mindset that gives. So if Celtic beat you in that game, but if you win, the gap's still going to be 7 points if Hearts win all their games. So
absolutely
crazy.
I think Hearts. I mean, Matthew obviously picked them out there. What I'll do is, before I go into Hearts, is just talk about that volley from Ben Brennan from Kilmarnock.
Who is this guy?
Jesus Christ. I don't know if that was a one-off or if that's something we're going to see this season, but what a finish that was. Absolute goal of the season contender in the first couple of weeks. It's incredible.
Brilliant, yeah.
But Hearts, I get what you're saying, Matthew, about not having sort of sexy football, to watch at the moment. But do you know what? When you're going through that transition of, bringing in that many players, adopting, a new style of recruitment, bringing in a new manager, to be able to have that mentality to just get the bloody job done, and against tough teams too.
Yeah.
These are teams that are, Dundee United, obviously, in decent form with European football, as we've just spoken about. And their first game was no pushover either. So these are 2 ties that should have been really, really tricky for them starting off this new campaign, but they've got through them, and it's only going to get easier, I think, for Hearts now. So that confidence will be high, and as you were saying, Tam, about that points difference, I mean, that could be really significant, in a couple of weeks' time. And it really sort of changes the mentality. And as I was saying earlier, with Derek McInnes's interviews and that steeliness, that he really is invested in what they're doing there, everything seems to be clicking. The Tony Bloom size clicking, Derek McInnes is clicking, the new signings, fantastic. Retaining Shankland, it's all clicking together. So I think it's only going to get better and better for them. Really, really concerning from a Rangers fan's perspective, but great for Scottish football. It's crap watching the best of the rest, if you want to call it that. I don't think it will be called that for much longer, but the best of the rest, just falling away at some point. I don't think Hearts will. I really don't.
Going to move from a top 2 to a top 1, and then you'll be in there with the rest of us muck, battling out for second. Welcome to big school.
That's nice. You're right. You're absolutely right. Definitely.
Yeah. We'll have a good. That's been for me the biggest talking point of the Premiership season so far is Rangers not being at the races, and those 2 what should be sort of tap-in wins really for
Yep.
if you're going to challenge for the title. But before we get to that, just a quick word on Celtic, I suppose, who are also on 6 points, as Matthew pointed out. Hearts are up there,
Hmm.
but so are Celtic. 2 wins, 2 clean sheets to go up to Pittodrie and get a clean sheet, and a fairly comfortable win is impressive. Although it still looks like they're in kind of third gear from what I've seen. They're not quite the
Yeah.
Celtic of last year in full flow, which is
Yeah.
understandable. They've got a few new signings to embed, and they don't really need to be at full flow yet either, which is maybe the worrying thing for Rangers.
Yeah, definitely. I think again, it's just that champions mentality. They know how to get the job done, even when there's not complete harmony. Behind the scenes, obviously, Big Brenda's been whinging, about signings and all that. But he's changed his tune after the Aberdeen game and the Rangers result. So you do wonder if there was just maybe a bit of sort of concern about the rest of the pack improving so much. Like Rangers, on paper their signings have been very good in my opinion, and Hearts, on paper the signings very good. Hibs obviously driving on with that form, so he feels he needs to kind of keep cutting away and saying, if you want to sort of stay steady, then I'm not your guy. If you want to push on, then I am. So but it's not like they're not spending money, and the window's not shut yet. And Celtic do a lot of business late on. So I think he'll be pretty happy come the end of the window, and I think things will start to click and gel. There are still a few concerns there for Celtic. I do think that their number 9 situation is a problem. And maybe a problem over the course of the season. They've invested in, is it Yamada or something like that, who I don't really know too much about. So hopefully for them, he'll maybe be a decent addition and sort of replacement for Ida. I think they're just in a bit of a pickle because obviously they've paid so much for Ida, and I can't see anyone, paying the money that they paid for him, to shift them on. So there's a lot of pundits like Charlie McGrew, for example, who's tipping him for top goal scorer this season. I can't see that. But they kind of need that out of a striker that they've paid that much money for. But it comes back to the first 2 games. They've got the job done. They've got 6 points. It doesn't matter how you do it, and that's what they're used to doing, grinding out results against any other team in the SPFL.
I'd say they do and they don't, because who was their top goal scorer last year? It was Maeda, and is he
Yeah,
still at the club?
he is,
And then
but
they've got
there's a
Benjamin
lot.
Negrin's come in as well, and they
Yeah,
get goals from all over the park. So I'm not saying that they don't need a striker. Of course they do. If they're going to battle in Europe as well as
yeah.
compete against Hearts and Hibs and Rangers in those big games, the more challenging games, then yeah, they probably do need a striker. But they didn't have one last. They had the same striker issue last year, and
They
they got
did,
through
yeah,
no bother.
absolutely, and you're right. But will Maeda be there come the end of the window? I don't know. He's got suitors in the Premier League, allegedly. So that would be a huge blow, and just with the way that Celtic seem to be sort of replacing, I don't think that. I don't think the recruitment's been brilliant, but I don't think it's been awful. It's just been enough to kind of get them by, and maybe that's where Brendan's sort of frustrations come from. But you're right. They've got enough in the tank, no matter what, to get the job done. It's just whether they're going to maybe kick on
Are they
and do something
hoarding
in
money
Europe.
again? Are they hoarding money because they know that Rangers are so shit they don't even have to spend very much money to win the league?
Well, maybe the thing is, if I was the board there, I
I
really
would just
wouldn't be
spend big
throwing
on
the
it. Yeah.
kitchen. Yeah, I wouldn't be throwing the kitchen sink at it. They get Champions League money in, every single season. Next season, a little bit more difficult. So they might have to really sort of invest properly in January and in the summer window to get through those qualifiers. Because if they do get hard draws, they're no joke. And that's then a big kick to their finances. However, for just now, when they're getting slotted in every single season, do you need to, unless you're super ambitious and you want to get, far in Europe? But they don't really, like realistically, they've been quite comfortable for years for, not doing that. Obviously, as I said at the start of this season, they were very unlucky to not beat Bayern Munich. Don't get me wrong, but that was the most competitive I've seen a Celtic team in Europe in a long, long time. Probably since sort of Neil Lennon Barcelona times, to be fair. So, yeah, I think things might change a wee bit, but this might not be the window that they need to spend big.
Yeah, there's still time, isn't there?
Yeah,
So at this stage in the season, 2 weeks in, it's too early to get excited about predictions that we made 2 weeks ago. But Matt's pretty comfortable, I would say. Well, more comfortable than what he could have been saying that Hearts were going to split the Old Firm. I'm more than happy. I've said Celtic are going to romp the league again. The gap won't be closed. You've said Rangers are going to win the league, Andrew. So I think, how are you
I
feeling
did.
about that prediction now, 2 weeks in?
I did. I mean, I did say obviously at the time I would need, like 500 flips of a coin for that to kind of happen. But look, it's I've had a real good think about what I think about the whole situation. So there's a lot of things that I don't agree with, from the fans' side. There's people calling for Martin to get sacked already. I've been listening to a couple of podcasts, and there was almost 50% of their audience was saying Martin should be sacked now, which is absolutely insane.
I heard the rant from the boy on the Rangers Rabble on socials. I obviously don't
Yeah,
listen to that, but I
yeah.
saw the rant. It was fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
listen
funny.
to the Rabble. It's a brilliant podcast. I really do like it. It's quite relaxed and not too sort of geeky or anything. So it's you do get these sort of bursts of raw emotions, but I can understand it. I can. Rangers fans are sick of Stephen Craigan actually put it really well. And Stephen Craigan, by the way, what a great addition back into the fold. Premier. He asked some proper questions. He didn't piss about with, just little tap ins for the manager. He asked proper questions. He said that, this is a movie that the fans have seen before. Can you understand why they're frustrated? And I do think that Martin didn't handle that interview all that well, if I'm really honest. But he had two options. He could either go two-footed into the players yet again, and talk about mentality, or he could try and take a softer approach and try and sort of gather them round and coach them forward. I think, unfortunately, looking at the history of how Rangers managers have developed over the last 5 years or whatever, that doesn't work. That really doesn't work. And at the moment, in my opinion, I feel that the problem isn't really Martin's style of play, because you watch them play Pilsen, you watch them play Panathinaikos. I know Panathinaikos, to be honest, had a good number of chances, but you look at those two games and the ability is there. The ability is there to play some really attractive football. However, there is a lot of criticism to say, can he break down a low block? The difference between how Rangers played forward and just didn't play forward domestically at all is completely synonymous with how we were under Clement, with how we were under Beale. It's just a slightly different style of play. It's just, there's not that bravery and that ambition to play a risky pass. People go into their shell and they don't want to be the guy that fucked up, basically. So they play everything safe. There was so many sideways passes. I think there was like over 100 passes, between the centre backs, which is wild. And fair play to Dundee, by the way. They took their chances, and to be honest, they should have won that game. They really should have. They were unlucky not to. But there's a huge mentality issue there. If I was anywhere near that management team or board or whatever, I would be saying, look, who's buying into that? Who is buying into that mentality? And we need to shift them no matter what. Whether it's just see you later, rip up your contract, or whatever it is, because it's going to affect the whole season. It really is going to affect the whole season. Personally, I feel there are a few bodies in there that I would point the finger at, but it's really hard to know that until you're actually in the building, I guess, at the training ground and understanding how these players are reacting. But for me, for Martin to come out, after the Motherwell game and say what he did, and then to go into the Dundee game and basically do a U-turn, it just shows that I don't think he's really got the balls to then make that decision to say, right, we are just going to really cut these guys off, because they are toxic for the club. And that's what's affected us season after season. It's a mentality thing. You know, we've seen great results for Rangers over the last couple of seasons, but it's always against the big teams. The wee teams, they're not motivated. And I say wee teams, that's harsh, but, you know, any team that's not Celtic, any team that's not a European club, they're not motivated. And that's just not how Rangers should be. So I think it's a player issue. It's not a manager issue, in my opinion. But I think I'm in the minority, unfortunately, by saying that.
With all these fans going against him, well, not all of them, like you said, 50% or a chunk of them going against the manager so early. There's been a bit of that in the press to an extent as well. They print what the fans say. Is it time for the director of football or the chairman to come out and make a statement?
Yeah, no, I do think no, I do.
Really, Gordon?
No, I do think so. I do think the director of football really needs to, you know, step in and take a bit of the heat off, because if Martin's saying, you know, look, we're trusting in the process, this is what we're doing, you know, and then you've got, you know, Jack Butland being interviewed earlier today saying the same thing, you know, we're trusting in the process. To be honest, this is a kind of rinse and repeat of what Rangers have heard time and time again. Rangers fans, sorry, have heard time and time again over the last few seasons. So if it is different now, you know, Martin isn't in charge of the recruitment. Martin isn't in charge of the style of play that Rangers want to play for years to come. So whether he's there or not there, you know, this is all an ethos that is built by Kevin Telwell and his team. So he needs to come out and really back him up and say, look, bad start to the season, but this is a process. This is what we're trying to do. Try and appease the fans, because if they get on Martin's back, you know, I'm not sure that there's any going back from that. You know, a lot of the, you know, forums, podcasts, all that kind of thing are saying, even if we thrash Pilsen 6-0 away, you know, I'm still going to be raging. Even if we beat Celtic, you know, I'm still going to be raging, because we're not picking up points against anyone else outside of the old firm or outside of Europe. And
they can't have it like both ways though. Sorry, they can't, like, so a few years ago, when it was Gio or Beale was in charge, they were only 4 or 5 points behind Celtic at that point. The only points they dropped, they maybe had a draw against Killie, but they lost 2 old firms, and everyone was calling for his head because they can't beat Celtic. Now they've flipped it. Last season they got a few results against Celtic, but now they can't beat the smaller teams. Like, it's just mental. The reason, sorry, you're on about like a style of play for years to come and all that stuff. The reason Derek McKinnon has come into Hearts in 6 seasons is because he makes it simple. Football's a simple game. And this isn't me ranting at you. It's more just ranting at Rangers fans generally, and the way that, and just football fans, modern football fans generally as well. Like, get the fucking job done. Don't worry about style of play and all that shit. That's for the manager to address on the pitch. It doesn't matter how it looks. Like, Derek McInnes has gone in, got them winning football games within a matter of weeks, months.
Yeah.
Because he's made it simple.
You're sick of the woke brigade, the fucking salad Russell Martin with his sexy girlfriend.
But the point is that the point is that, you know, to contradict yourself, like, the problem is the Rangers fans are not happy because they're not getting the results. If they played like Celtic, that, you know, bit messy but got the job done, you know, or Hearts, bit messy but got the job done, I'm sure there would be a portion of them that wouldn't be happy that it isn't that good to look at or whatever. But it was the same under Walter Smith. You know, the thing is, it was never good to look at, but he got the job done. And, you know, he's the most popular manager that Rangers have ever had. So, you know, I think that's all they're really asking for. I don't really think that the majority of Rangers fans would be that arsed about the style of play. They get more critical about the style of play than anything else because it's not working. But in my opinion, it's not working because of personnel, and it's not because of recruitment. It's not because of the way that Martin wants to play.
You have to name them, Andrew. Name these players.
Well, for me, James Tavernier got dropped. He got dropped, you know, by Martin. He's the captain. The vice captain, Nico Raskan, got dropped as well. He got dropped for the Pilsen game. They got dropped for the Dundee game. But the problem is doesn't matter if they're on the pitch or not. If their attitude isn't right, if their mentality isn't right, and it's more really pointing towards James Tavernier, because you see the interview after that Motherwell game, and it's the same again, you know, and there's no fight and desire there, you know, to really take a game by the scruff of the neck. However, when you watch John Souttar take the armband, I mean, it's rinse and repeat. I think there's just absolute rot, in the squad for mentality,
You
and for
think
it
they're
to
better
then
than
start.
you think they're better than Rangers, or
I just don't think they're motivated. I just don't think they're motivated. They don't give two shits about playing against Dundee, because Dundee are pish. They don't want to play against. That's what they think. That in their heads, and that's a wrong thing to think, because they're so short term, short minded. Because if you win this league, obviously it makes it much easier to play in Europe. They're not thinking about Hearts and Aberdeen and Hibs or anyone that's going to cause a problem. They're just can't be arsed. Like, and I know that seems like a very sort of easy thing to say, but it is how they play. The thing is, there's no one who wants to take a risk. They just want to make sure that they finish the game a 5 or a 6. That's fine, no problem at all. And that mentality has been like that, not just under Martin. It's been like that for a long time, but it keeps spreading, from the leadership group, and the core leadership group, in my opinion, is not good enough. I really do think that the manager should have came in and changed the captain after he'd had a right good look at this team, and a right good look at the players. He made a decision on the captain within the first couple of days. And I'm sorry, if you know anything about, how things have happened in this legacy, that is the one thing I would be really take my time over. Definitely.
How did Rangers manage to succeed with Tav as captain, and not succeed but do incredibly well, unbeaten under Gerrard?
Yeah. How? Well, I mean, to be honest, Gerrard has been, everyone says it. So you look at Kmart Roof's interview recently, you look at Halliday, all these boys. Gerrard was a fantastic man manager. He was the best man manager that they'd worked under, and that really, really worked. That worked well.
Right.
Russell Martin is not a good man manager traditionally. He said it himself. He is really, really harsh and difficult to work with on the training pitch. But then outside of that, he's a nice guy. That's fine. But he's a bit of a taskmaster, and he's got everyone blowing out their arse pre-season. That doesn't work with your current captain, I'm afraid. Like, he doesn't work that way.
So Gerrard's approach was on the pitch softer with the players.
He was a better man manager. I don't know how he did that, but he was a better man manager. Like, everyone said it. Everyone.
So Rangers is would you say is because their squad's superior than other teams minus Celtic? You don't need a tactics man. You need a vibes manager, like a Coisty or something. Big Coisty back, or big Barry Ferguson. You know what I mean? Is that what they need? Someone that can challenge the players in a positive way, rather than big dunk Terry Butcher. Rather than load them with tactics and nonsense. Or
I don't think it's.
I don't let them be free.
I don't think it's the tactics side. I think it's just more. Gerrard had a really good balance of relying on the tactical side from his coaching team, but just being that person that everyone wanted to play for. So hearing interviews about Joe Rebo coming, to Ibrox and all that kind of thing, they all wanted to come because of Gerrard. That's what they wanted to do, and then they wanted to go wherever he went after as well. They just wanted to follow Gerrard wherever he went. That's not happened with any other Rangers manager since then. That has absolutely not happened. And obviously, because they've all been fucking sacked. But, the thing is, none of them have had that effect. What they needed to do, probably much earlier on, is draw a real strict line under that Gerrard era and just move on with a plan. The time to do that properly was when these investors have come in, and when they've brought in a proper director of football, and just say, right, totally clean slate, let's move forward. Unfortunately, what they've done is a little bit of a hybrid. The signings they've made, in my opinion, are class, like really good signings, but there is that mentality issue that's starting to bleed into some of these new players already, and you're just like, how the fuck is that possible? It must be so toxic behind the scenes. Like, it really must be. And the more interviews you watch of the leadership group, your James Taverniers, your Jack Butlins, etc., the more demotivated they seem. They don't seem up for it. They don't seem up for the up for the fight. When you're watching players get interviewed under Gerrard, you're like, fucking yes, like, let's go. Do you know what I mean? Even in the seasons building up to him winning the league, it was always like they were driving forward. There's just, everyone's lethargic. Like, everyone just can't be arsed. It's crazy. until they're on the European stage or until they've got a lot of people watching on Sky Sports for the Old Firm games, and then they're like, oh, I better turn up today. So it's that's how it is. Like that, I can't see it any other way. You can blame Martin if you want with his tactics. I don't think it's that. Because if they played the way that they played against Pilsen, yes, Pilsen weren't 10 men behind the ball, but if they had the midfield running properly, if they had the wingers running in the same way to make these things happen, to bring the ball into Dessers and let him hold it up a wee bit, let him be physical, none of that happened. It was just going... It was like Celtic against Aberdeen in the cup final. That's what it was like. It was just like that, but it looks like it's going to be like that all season, which is the frustrating part. So I don't know what the answer is. But if I would just cut the players out that seem to be affecting that sort of toxic mentality.
Tricky to do that. Rangers have created a rod for their own back by giving that guy a fucking place in the Hall of Fame. It's unbelievable. 10 years of penalty taker and he gets in the Hall of Fame.
No, that's true. But at the end of the day, if he wanted a good legacy, he maybe would have moved on a bit earlier. But he's in the last year of his contract. Do we have to wait until then? And will the damage be irreparable then? Because it's then affected the rest of the team. Don't know, but I can't see him moving on in this window. So yeah, probably that's going to be how it's going to go for us. I'm afraid.
Whew. Bad times.
What a segment that is on the Rangers. Lovely.
Yeah, well,
good that we've got proper football action to discuss now. That was meaty.
2 games in, man. That's intense for poor Russell Martin. Like, geez, what's he got into himself into? Like,
I feel sorry for him. I really feel sorry for him. I really do.
Don't make shagging Lucy Pinder, son. He's doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, swings and roundabouts.
Get him to Nooch and get him a mushroom burger. He'll be all right.
Get him to Nooch Bar and Kitchen, the only fully plant-based bar and kitchen in Stirling, the sponsors of Home or Away, our quiz.
That's right.
Yeah, Russell, drown your sorrows with a focaccia made in store.
Freshly made focaccia, focaccia.
I've had it. It's good.
Shall we quiz? We've had 58 minutes thus far of
sure.
Nonsense. I think it's probably. Do you want to go for like a sauna or something, Andrew? Like a little, just calm down. You just a little debrief.
I'm all right. This is the calmest I've been, to be fair, since that result. So yeah, fucking hell. Just as well as didn't record the podcast.
While we're at it, man. Well done, Presley, mate.
Yeah,
proving the doubters wrong, son.
Definitely.
No, move on.
No, definitely. He took his chances, but to be honest with you, if you're any team in the SPFL and you're not Celtic, especially if you're under pressure and you've got to play Rangers at Ibrox, you're like, well, I've got a good fucking chance here. So
the fear factor's gone, is it?
Yeah, it's totally gone. You know what? And why should anyone be scared? That's the thing.
Thanks to Queen's Park.
Yeah, thanks to Queen's Park. But that's the thing, though. Like, if Rangers don't score early, the crowd get on their back, and then obviously if there's a mentality issue there, then that just makes everything worse. And they did the right thing. They played the crowd. They played the occasion. They should have won the game. They should have won the game.
It was funny when the Rangers got that goal disallowed with the VAR. That was class. When they're all good men.
Yeah, no.
Martin down the touchline and that, giving it the big game.
To be fair, I was giving it the big one in the lounge as well. So.
Head in hands like Guardiola on his knee.
That was grim.
Come on to today's podcast with a Stephen Presley face mask on.
I was crying, but I told the boys I could cry for them. That's what he said.
By the way, has he found Jesus? It's like his interviews are just like he's on another fucking planet.
Planet. I could cry for them.
I could cry for the boys.
At 1 point you'll get relegated. We've only got 1 point. If you have 1 point, you're getting relegated.
All right, mate. Okay, now.
I love Presley, man. The guy's box office. He's got to stay a whole season. Come on.
Box office.
He's just so funny.
He is actually.
Not quite Tom Cruise. Tom Hanks, is he?
No, you
quite Tom Hanks.
Stephen Presley is Forrest Gump.
Oh man.
Mama said life is like a box of chocolates.
Mama said a box of chocolates. I love ripping the piss out of him. It's so fun.
He's hilarious.
In a world where sponsorship is more accessible than ever, that world exists at sportsponsorship.co.uk. Whether you're interested in making a difference to your local community or further afield, or perhaps you're looking for access to tens of thousands of followers online to push your brand further than ever, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk. That's sportsponsorship.co.uk.
Okay, home or away. The scores on the doors are 27 points to Andrew, 15 points to Matthew.
Okay.
After episode 10, and it's Matthew to go first this time. So just as a reminder, it's been a couple of weeks since you played this. You can either choose home or away. Home is an easy question. Away is a hard one. If you choose easy, you're going to get 3 clues. If you guess it after 1 clue, it's worth 3 points, descending down to 1 point after 3 clues. If you go away and go for the hard one, it's 6 points after 1 clue and 2 points if you go all the way down to the 3rd clue. Matthew, home or away?
I'll go away, please.
Going away, okay.
Got pen and paper, so that supposedly helps.
Well done.
Helps me remember things that I have no idea about. But anyway.
I have a terrible feeling I've used this one already.
Oh my God.
Which is
Irish striker.
Right, Tinpot, yeah, Irish striker. Connor Salmon, no Hunt. No, an uncapped English striker who started his career at Spurs in 2002.
Uncapped.
English striker who started his career at Spurs in 2002.
Spurs.
That's clue number 1, worth 6 points if you want to take a guess.
Nah, I'll go to the next one, please, mate.
Okie dokie. Worth 4 points if you guess here.
Okay.
Made over 150 league appearances for Motherwell over 2 spells at the club between 2008 and 2015.
How many, sorry? How many?
Over
appearances?
150 league appearances in 2 different spells between 08 and 15.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, he wants to take a guess at the 4 points. I can see it in his eyes. And hear it in his sighs.
2008.
2008. 2 spells.
I want to take a punt, but then
Oh, yes. For
I-
4 points.
I mean I might as well guess. I don't. Uncapped English striker.
Come on.
Spurs 2002.
The whole audience is rooting for you here. This would bridge the gap to 27-19.
But then I'm thinking the name's too easy. Like the name I'm thinking of, or the person I'm thinking of, it'd be too easy, you know. It'd be like this guy seems like a home name, but then it's
Okay.
quite an interesting clue. You know what I mean? I really need the points.
If you go for the 3rd clue, just as a reminder, you'll get 2 points.
I need my things. Uncapped English striker, 2002. So you're thinking he's what? Born in like the 80s, late 80s, no, mid 80s. So he was 17. Then he's English. He's never played. If he's from Motherwell, so he's obviously not like amazing. And he had 2 spells at Motherwell. Who's fucking played for Motherwell?
Think of one person, but
The
I
name
don't
popped into my
know.
head straight away when I thought of Motherwell in English because there's not many Motherwell. I know this guy because he played for the Rovers, I think, and he went away. He played for the Rovers about
Don't
2003.
give Andrew clues, just in case. Unless you're going to go for this guy.
I'm gonna go for it.
Oh, he's going to go
He
for it.
played for the Rovers, and then he went away to England again. And I remember when Rovers signed him, it was under Calderon. I'm gonna go John Sutton.
So I've got
John Sutton. Not Michael Higdon.
Oh no, he's
It's John Sutton!
well
He's
done,
long-
mate. I had John Sutton as well.
John Sutton.
Got 4 points back. Well done.
He's yeah, he played for the Rovers for 1 season, or
I
maybe,
didn't know
maybe
he
even
played
half
for
a
his
season.
Rovers.
We brought him in under Calderon when we got promoted to the Championship in like 2004, and he scored like 12 goals in his first 20 games, and then I think he left maybe that January, or maybe did he play the whole season? Yeah.
I can't. I only. I was only the only thing was is Motherwell at that time, but the whole Spurs thing I didn't know about.
Nah, I didn't know about Spurs. I
you-
just thought English striker Motherwell. I didn't even think about Higgy. What a player he was, by the way.
Yeah, forgot about him. He was a Falkirk as well, was he not?
Yeah,
He was
Falkirk,
a big lad,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah.
There you go, 27-19 to Andrew.
Yeah, come on.
And Andrew's to go.
Home.
Oh, what a surprise.
Home sweet home. And I've got a feeling I'm going to get abuse for this being too tricky on my first clue, but we'll try.
Fucking hell.
A Senegalese
that's like
midfielder
Fuck's sake,
with 2 caps and 0 goals.
Senegalese.
Senegalese midfielders with 2 caps.
Senegalese.
And sorry, how many? What? No goals.
0 goals, yeah.
What a strange country to pick, mate. Senegalese.
Senegal. Midfielder.
Get told off for picking the Scottish ones and the Irish ones. Now I'm getting told off for going for Senegal. The country that beat England in a friendly recently.
I'm just trying to think. What's the boy?
It's a great nation, the best nation.
Just write the club down because I'll
Senegal.
not forget. That's a hard first clue.
Yeah, Tam.
Them's the breaks.
There's one player that came to mind, but I don't know. I don't know why I feel he was Senegalese, but
Gonna ask Matthew a quick question whilst you're pondering.
I'm
Matthew,
gonna just go for it. I think I was just
Oh,
gonna
he's
go
going
with
for
my
the
gut.
first clue. Could this open a gap for Struggers to come in?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm
Matthew
higher.
gets no more clues after this for his
Yeah,
steal.
do.
So no, you don't.
How? You do so
That's
get
the
another.
rules of the game. No, you don't.
Right, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for. I can't remember how. Does that have to say his whole name perfectly?
Depends how close you are.
It's like, I know Gomez that played for United, like Morgano Gomez.
Except to Jimmy Gomez.
Am I right off it?
No, Morgado is his actual name, but we
Oh, right.
called him Jimmy. Yes, it's Morgado Gomez. Well done. 3 points.
That's like my era though. That's like the.
Surely he has to get that name correct to get the points, mate. Have
That's
a point.
close. I must have said it right at one of them.
Gomez.
Was it
In one of
Morgado?
his jumbled attempts, it was close enough. Yeah,
Great shout,
30
yeah.
points to 19 now.
Fuck's sake, great. I had his name in my head as well. Like that was a great shout. I was hoping you would. Fuck, I'll go for Prince Blabbin maybe. Blabbin.
That was the other one, but I don't think he was Senegalese, was he?
Senegalese.
Yeah,
I wasn't that
I don't think so.
confident with
What a team
Gomez.
that was, by the
He's
way.
one of those players that you always signed in like FIFA or like
FM.
or like Chat Manager and stuff
Yeah.
like that, like round about then. So
Fuck's sake. I fucking got a 4-pointer on the way, and he comes in with a fucking.
You still gained a point back though, mate.
Could have
Every
gained
little
about
helps.
7, man. Fucking Gomez, man. Dundee United. Shite.
yes,
Yep. Well, that's all to play for. Still, we've got another 38 weeks until the season's done. 36 weeks, so
It will still be good.
it can swing either way.
fucking hell.
Can run out of players to choose from at this stage. Yeah, that's the end of episode 11. On that bombshell, as the old Top Gear trio used to say. We'll be back again next Tuesday. Sorry for being lost for the last couple of weeks whilst we're enjoying the sun, but from here on out, it should be regular forecasting. Apart from probably next week when Andrew can't record. But the week after, we'll definitely be back permanently. If you want to catch us in the meantime, we're on all the socials at Tinpot Pod. And if you want to listen to the eps that are out on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, all the usual places. Until then, Andrew, Matt, I bid you adieu.
Cheers.
Bye.